Just when we thought that freedom and prosperity for Super Earth was attained, Joel and the Helldivers team threw us a curveball, granted one we probably saw coming in another major update to Helldivers 2. Along with gameplay implications, we also saw a new update go out for the game that helped foundationally as well, so today we're taking a look at everything that you need to know with this newest update. Thanks for the love on yesterday's Helldivers 2 video. If you enjoyed this one, do me a huge favor, drop a like on it and consider subscribing for more Helldivers 2 and other FPS content. Finally, make sure once again to check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage for upwards of 47.5% off your entire order with code ESPRESSO, but more on that a little later. For now, let's dive into it. So let's start with what's new. Yesterday we saw the celebration on Super Earth taking place where all Helldivers were rewarded with an extra additional minute of rest and relaxation, but these celebrations seem to be a bit premature, as today we saw the return of the Automatons in which we have to defend our systems from their invasions. With messaging coming from top brass telling us somehow the Automatons returned. As suspected all along, the previous bot force was merely a vanguard. A massive fleet has now begun an assault of Cyberstan and the surrounding planets. Helldivers hold back this unprovoked invasion, the fight continues, and that major order all units to LibCon 1. A massive automaton invasion fleet comprising tens of thousands of warships arrived from FTL Jump and began an unprovoked invasion of Cyberstan and the surrounding planets. The reclamation has begun. Now, if you go in and decide to take part, if you're not a traitor, you'll end up finding you'll have to defend the Hydra, Lacaille, and eventually the Vauda sector, with the planets of Menket, Lasath, and Short Bay currently being able to defend, but with 16 hours as of recording this to go on those defending planets, we'll have more to defend in the coming days here of this major order, currently sitting at a little over 2 days and a few hours in change. Your mission, should you choose to honor Super Earth, is to succeed in the defense of at least 5 planets, so it's going to take all of us. Now, for your service to Super Earth and your dutiful work after those total of about 3 days, if we are successful in the automaton pushback, we'll be granted 45 medals to use in any way, shape, or form that you'd like in your war bonds. So our Galactic War is once again two-sided, though at this point, we want to make sure that we have all hands on deck going towards those automatons so the Terminids can wait a little bit. Obviously, the major order, the main focus here is on that pushback, but stepping outside of the lore here and service to Super Earth, we kind of figured this would be the case. We've never seen a one-sided conflict with this war since the game launched 2 months ago, so to see a whole day of nothing but Terminid conflict was rather strange, admittedly. I'm still curious to see what will happen with those other things that we mentioned in yesterday's coverage. We still have those things like the Illuminate up on the table at some point. We still have things like the Hive Lord for the Terminids, all of which have assets in the game files existing currently that just, it's possible they could be coming. It's just a matter of when. And like, we still have that entire southern portion of the galactic map that I'm sure will eventually open up to be something bigger and a larger threat to managed democracy, but for the time being, it's just a bit strange that we see all this kind of stuff, but again, no real sort of idea of when they'll be coming. Instead, we just have the return of the automatons, so I'm just curious as all to when we'll see that larger or additional threat introduced into the mix. But for now, we do still want to make sure we have the return of the automatons dealt with, and we end up completing that major order. Now, beyond that, again, outside of like the in-game stuff that came along with this update and the storyline and gameplay implications, we also did see a new update to the game itself, patch 1.0202. The general aim of this was for stability fixes. They mentioned firstly that it updated some stuff for UI, for weaponry, that it'll mention the explosive damage, taking that into account, but that's a smaller byproduct of this update. The main stuff really came down to crashes, where they were fixing issues for crashes on a number of specific situations. Some may apply to you and how you've seen crashes happen before, some may not, but to save the monotony of reading every single one on screen, there's a screenshot with each of those listed out so you can pause or double check if you need to, if it's something you've experienced, that hopefully that should be taken care of now. Additionally, while it was just a small update targeting fixes and stability for crashing, they also did acknowledge a large handful of other known issues. Those again on screen for you to save the monotony of reading off every single one of those individually, but you should see these fixes for these issues sometime in the near future here, hopefully in a speedy manner. I feel like Arrowhead's been pretty quick with that kind of stuff, so fingers crossed that if this is something that is bugging your gameplay experience, it should hopefully be fixed out soon. Now, beyond that, the only other thing to talk about in regards to Helldivers is the upcoming new Warbond this Thursday. This is going to introduce a little bit of content, some weaponry, some cosmetics, and other things like that. This is going to be a premium bond, yes, but as with all the other bonds, they can easily be obtained with in-game playtime. Search those bunkers, downed vessels, and more for super credits, and honestly, I feel like you can kind of farm those pretty quickly if that's what you're looking for. With those 40-minute missions, I think that those help out really easy. Some of them have insanely easy main objectives. Granted, playing solo lately and going on a lower difficulty just to get some missions done and stuff, it hasn't really been the toughest thing for me at the moment playing solo, but like, I completed a main objective and could extract within the first 3 minutes of a mission earlier. So that 37 minutes left to explore, get samples, credits, requisition slips, and all that kind of stuff, it definitely helps out and makes it manageable and doable for sure. But anyways, the new Warbond coming on Thursday includes new weapons. You have the BR-14 Adjudicator Rifle, which is an armor-penetrating rifle used against small groups. The R-36 Eruptor Rifle is a bolt action with explosive shrapnel. The CB-9 is the exploding crossbow. It's exactly what it sounds like. You do have to take into account, though, gravity, they stated in the PlayStation blog, so you're going to have like bullet drop per se, or rather arrow drop. And then you have the GP-31 grenade pistol, which fires grenades. It's a mini launcher, so that'll be cool. That'll be another good addition, I think, to helping destroy bug and automaton outposts, in addition to your standard grenade types and the rocket launchers. That'll help speed things up pretty quickly. Then you'll have new armor of the CE-27 Groundbreaker medium armor, the CE-07 Demolition Specialist, which is light armor, and the FS-55 Devastator, which is heavy armor. Now, no details specifically about their pros and cons have been given just yet for what it's worth out of those, but you'll have 3 new armor sets coming along in that. And also, you'll see a new booster of the Expert Extraction Pilot booster, which will lower the time that it takes for an extraction shuttle to reach the beacon at the very end of your missions. That'll be pretty beneficial for some, but honestly, I don't see it being like a crutch booster or something like that, that if you don't want to buy into this one, or you're still a ways off from getting this along with other stuff out of other war bonds, I don't think it's going to be too detrimental to your gameplay experience that it's really going to hurt you too much. And also, you have some new capes, which are always pretty fun. That obviously just being a small cosmetic that doesn't really do anything to help or hinder your gameplay experience. But yeah, that's the new update coming in the next couple of days here, but that is where we're at here. The Helldivers universe saw a larger onslaught from the Automatons coming back. We saw some stability and crashing fixes coming on the foundational side of the game, and also some new content upcoming to look forward to. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this? But before we wrap everything up, I want to remind you guys about my friends over at Gamer Advantage. For a short window of time, they have a site-wide 37.5% off discount where code Espresso can stack to give you 47.5% off your entire order. One of the best discounts we've seen to date, and honestly an oddly specific number, but if you guys want to check it out, I firmly believe these are the best blue light glasses on the market. Now's as best a time as I need to pick up a pair. I've used their product now for 3 years and cannot recommend them enough. The most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames on the market as far as I've used, and I definitely think they've helped my daily productivity. Now, full transparency, they are a bit more of an investment, but I do think your vision's absolutely worth investing into. Especially if you're like me, you're looking at a monitor, phone, or gaming for a good chunk of the day. So if you guys would like to learn more, at the very least, I'd recommend checking out their website where they can better break down the science and all the specifics way better than I could, but what I can personally say is that I'd highly recommend them. But if you want to learn more, check the link in the description below, and if you'd like to pick something up for yourself, use code Espresso to get upwards of 47.5% off your entire order. But that said, thanks so much for watching. That is what we're going to call it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like this update, dislike it. What do you think's in the near future for Helldivers? What are the case? Let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor and drop a like on it, and subscribe for more Helldivers 2 and other FPS content. I'd love to have in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.